Which one do you prefer? Formal English or informal English? We are going to discuss some formal alternatives to informal English words. We use formal English when we write an email or in business conferences or in interviews. So we use formal English. And when we are hanging out with our friends, so we use informal English. So without any further delay, let's start the video. Now look at this sentence. The fire department couldn't find out the cause of fire. Now this sentence is formal or informal? Right, it is informal because in this sentence we use find out and it is phrasal verb. In general, phrasal verbs are used in informal words. So that's why it is informal sentence. Now instead of find out, what we can use to make this sentence more formal? Instead of find out, we can use ascertain, means to discover something, to find out something. So our formal sentence is, the fire department couldn't ascertain the cause of fire. Now look at this sentence. I'll try to get some info about the company. Imagine I want to go for a job interview and before going I have to prepare, right? So I need to study about the company history. So before going on job interview, I'll try to get some info about the company. It is informal because we use some short forms. Instead of information, we use info and it is informal. But there is another reason. Instead of get, I can use some more better alternatives of formal English, like obtain. So our sentence become, I'll try to obtain some information about company. Another example. It's impossible to get first edition of this book. Instead of get, what should I use? Right, obtain. It's impossible to obtain first edition of this book. Now look at this sentence. We are short of cash, so we should buy something cheaper. Now this is formal or informal? Obviously informal. Let's try to make this sentence more formal. So instead of short of cash, we can say to have a limited budget. And instead of verb to buy, we can say to purchase. It is more formal. And instead of cheap, we can say inexpensive. It sounds more formal. So we can say we have limited budget, so we should purchase something more inexpensive. Now look at this sentence. He was late, so he made up an excuse to avoid trouble. And make up is an phrasal verb. And as earlier I said, phrasal verbs are informal. So this sentence is informal. To make this sentence more formal, instead of make up, I can use fabricate. Fabricate means to invent something. So our sentence becomes, he was late, so he fabricated an excuse to avoid trouble. Now look at this sentence. The president started his speech. This is not really informal sentence, but it is also not formal. We can say it is semi-formal. To make this sentence more formal, instead of start, I can use commence, means to start. So our formal sentence is, the president commenced his speech. Look at this one more example. We will start building work in August. In the place of start, what should I use? Right, commence. We will commence building work in August. Okay, now look at this sentence. The documentary is about a woman who goes to China. To make this sentence more formal, instead of about, we can use concern. So our formal sentence is, the documentary concerns a woman who goes to China. Now look at another example. We need to talk, it's about our future. Instead of about, what should I use? Yes, concern. We need to talk. It's concern our future. Now, and to last sentence. Eating organic food is good for health. So, how can I make this sentence more formal? Instead of to eat, I can say consume. For example, bodybuilders should consume more protein than normal people. Another thing we can change in this sentence, instead of good for, we can use beneficial. It sounds more formal. Pay attention. The preposition of good is for, but the preposition of beneficial is to. So we say protein is good for health and protein is beneficial to health. So our formal sentence is consuming organic food is beneficial to health. And that's it, guys. I hope you like this video. Don't forget to practice and see you in next video.